Here we are. We're on page. This is page Mem Samach Zion. An akdama to the second to the second drush, which we just finished. The first drush, which dealt tremendously with the concept of blood. Also other ideas, but let's go on. You could take every partzuf and divide it into three. Now wait a minute. He said there were 5 parts. Now he's going to say there's 3. Parts of klali. Shemamshich and the zer anpen yeshbo chamisha partzufim pratim. There are 5 specific parts to it. Shnei partzufim achitzonim, so that the parts on the outside, those are called nefesh and ruach. Then they call them katnas, and they also have that name. B'shlosha partzufim b'benimiyam neshama chayin yechida nikroim godlos. That's what they're called. Amnam yesh l'das, but you have to know this. She'emes anu machalkim osam rak the shlosha halokos. What would they be? Kevin shlosha partzufi hagadlos anu machshivim lebechina achas. We consider them to be one level. But kevin shehem niknasim yachda, because they come in all at the same time. Begam sheyesh lechem osam al Keilim kli hagadlos, and they also have Keilim for godless. Amnam as hakatnas, but when it comes to katnas, which refer to the ruach and nefesh, amnam machalkim call achas la'atzma, then we consider each one of them as a portion by itself. Tahainu she parts of a nefesh nikra ivor, or parts of a ruach nikra yanika. V'nimsa sheyesh shlosha halukos shehem ivor yanika and malchin. So now we say that there's actually 3 different ways that we can look. What is his words? He says they're called halukos, or divisions, or different categories. Ela shebachaluka shlishis nikran malchim nechlalim shlosha partzufim alyonim, which are the partzufim of godless shehem neshama chayin yechida. So now we're going to come to a new idea. We're going to talk about the concept of the tzaddik tzalim. Now remember, we're originally, for those, I realize it's advanced year, and if you don't have background, it's just really hard to understand what's called Soma is. So he says, Bir tzaddik tzalim. Now there's a concept of a tzalim. There's a tzaddik tzalim, there's a lamed tzalim, and there's a mem tzalim. So this way we see the word tzalim is that Hashem is built, Hashem and the tzalim of Elokim. Here we come and we get to the secret of what the word tzalim means. So he says, Bir tzadi tzalim, and then also the lamed mem tzalim, because it's also the other 2 letters. Yesh both tzadi, lamed, and mem, shebetachida niknas hanayi shechel haparts of ha'elyon. That what happens like this is originally the lower level of the upper parts of goes into Zer Anpin. And they actually blend in and become a part of Zer Anpin. But Lamed Mem, though, the other 2 lights, they're called Makifim. As he began, Hoyerak Shisha Kitzvos, he was only Chesed Gevurah Teferes Netzach Hod and Yesod, which we call Chagat Nai. The Hainu Shehoyulo Rak Keilim Shal Shisha Kitzvos, he only had those 6 Keilim. Shaharbe Kol Madreget Sricha Atzmos Keilim, it has to have Atzmos, which means the oros that go into the Keilim, and the Keilim itself. But the Zer Anpen Koya Rak Keilim Shal Shisha Kitzvos, that's all he had. You can't get more if you don't have more Keilim. But if you add to him, instead of being a Chagat Nai, you make him in the Chagat Nai, and into that Chabad comes in, they also get divided up then. The Netzach of Ima is going to go into the Chochmah. It's going to make a Bina in Zer Anpin. Now he said, B'chagat, that is the Chesed Gevurah Teferes, the Ima, Na'asis lo bechinas maki falov. They don't go into Zer Anpin, but instead they surround Zer Anpin, because the light is too great to be held within Zer Anpin. The maki v'zecha b'nikra lamed tzalim. V'keven shuhu mechagad, so this is coming from the chagad of Ima, shehem shloshes spheres shekol echad kol me'eser spheres, which is 3 spheres, each one has 10. V'yachad heim shloshim spheres kaminyan lamed, and that's how we have a raya over there, that lamed really refers to these 3. So which is, each one is a 10, which is a 30, which is the gematria of the word, of the letter lamed. V'hakachbad, now the very highest level, the Ima, na'azalo od b'chinas makif elyon. It has another higher, it's actually, in a way that I look at it, is further away, because the light is just too powerful to be able to be contained or even reflected too closely to Zer Anpin, and Zer Anpin would disappear. So he said that therefore, Me'al Makif Arishon, so it's higher than the first Makif. V'hu Nikra Makif Mem Detzelem. Now why Mem? He's a Kevin Shuhu Ma'arbechas Spheres Keser Chochma Bina Das. This is one answer at any rate. He says that even since it's composed of the highest level, which is Keser Chochma Bina and Das, and Kachbad, he says the Kevin should call Echad Kolum Chasaras, as each one of them has 10 spheres within it, Hare Hem Communion, Mem Detzelem. Ukashemam Shichim, all parts of Hamshachal, the Zer Anpin, as all of this goes into Zer Anpin. Neknasim Kula Beseder Chatzelim, they all come into Zer Anpin. Understand this in the order of the Tzelem. So the Hainu, the Nai, that's the lowest part of Ima. Shel Madregas, Shel Madregazu, Niknas Bepinimia Zer Anpin. So the Tzadid Tzelem is what he's going to say, Hu Nikra Tzadid Tzelem. So the Tzadid Tzelem goes inside of Zer Anpin. The Chagad, but the Chagad, which is the Lamed Tzelem, the Kochbad, which is the Mem Tzelem, Shehem Halamed and Mem Tzelem, Makifim Alav, they surround Zer Anpin, but they don't go in. Now we go to this section. Keilim, Kitzonim, Emseim, Upnimim. We see this in a lot of different places, and it's been around. He says, Vihine Bizmana Iver, Niknas Hanahi Shel Parts of Achitzon de Ima de Heindach of Nefesh de Neshama. Let's read again. I just realized I forgot to do one of the recordings here, and it pulled my mind away. Let's read again. Vihine Bizman Ha-Iver, Niknas Hanahi Shel Parts of Achitzon, the Nai of the most outside part goes into Zer Anpin. The Chitzon de Ima, that's the part that goes in. The Heindach of Nefesh de Neshama. So Ima is the Neshama. What aspect of her originally goes into Zer Anpin? The lowest part, the most outside part, which would be the Nefesh. Shuchum Madregas Akatas V'Nikra Ivor, so this is the level which is called gestation. Harehu Niktas B'Keilim B'Kitzonim, it goes into the most... Now we're telling that there's different aspects of the Keilim of Ima, of Zer Anpin. They go into the Keilim Kitzonim of Zer Anpin. Hanikrayim Keilim de Ibor, and they're called by that name too. V'nimsa sheyesh lo nerantchi shel hanefesh the neshama. There's a nerantchi of this nefesh which is coming from neshama. Period. There's a period there. Uzmana Nika. Now the Yanika time, which is Zer Anpin, is born out and now is nursing. Niknas nerantchi minai shel parts of Hamsoy. Now you got a nerantchi that's coming from a different parts of Avima. Shall Eva Hanikra Ruach, and that parts of Emsoy is called Ruach. Shahul Nikra parts of Yanika. The Niknas, the so Keilim Emseim shall Zer Anpin, they go into the middle Keilim, and now we're seeing that there's actually, when we say there's a Kli and there's a Shum inside of it, well, it turns out not so simple, that the Keilim actually have 3 parts, and then you can have all the lights are coming in are also going to be 3 parts. So this is called the Emseim shall Zer Anpin, Va'az Yeshlo Gam Ruach the Neshama. So that aspect of the Neshama, remember the Neshama goes with the Tzadid Tzelem that goes into Zer Anpin. It doesn't stay outside, it goes in, and it, as we see that it's speaking, that it's coming out, Lo Gam Ruach. So this is the Ruach aspect because it's coming from the Chagat part. It's coming from the middle part. Ubezmana Gadlus. Niktas Balnaki shall the Keilim Apenimim Deima. Now you're getting the real juice on the inside of Ima. Of the Emes Yesh Bechem Shlosh Nai. So you see that there's 3 Nai. Echad Betoch Avera. One is inside the next. Shaharei Eim Haneshama Chayin Yechida Sheba. So all of this is coming in. It's not just the Neshama, he says, but the aspect of that Neshama, which is the highest level of it, which is the Chayin Yechida coming too. Ela Shalosh Techa B'Yesh called Echad Kli Echad, each one of them has their own kli. There's a kli for the Pnimios and the Himsoi and for the Chitzonios. But they call them Nai Echad because that's the whole Nai is coming in to three different places, and we see that the Nai actually has three different parts. It's a whole complicated deal, but not so complicated. This is a level of godless. So now you have the whole neshama here. Let me see if we can get over here a little bit more. Chai Yechida, we have the neshama, Chai and Yechida. So we get this focused there a little bit. Okay, Chai Yechida neshama v'kol hamshachos zu b'shachos eluchim, with all of these hamshachos. Shamarno sheniknas bo hanai de ima, on which the nai of ima comes in. Is nikrat tzadi de tzelem. Remember this: the part that goes into ima is called the nai de tzelem. So, called tzelem, that goes into. That's the part that goes in. In that part that we're talking about is going to be a complete neurantchi that's going to go into it. It doesn't come in all at one time because it goes into the outside part first, which is the ruach and the nefesh. Then it goes into a more medius side. I said that wrong. It goes into the outside part, which is the nefesh. Then it goes into the immediate and middle part, which is the ruach. And then finally goes into the higher part, which is going to be the neshama. But as the neshama comes in, it has within it as well its own chayin yechida. So now you have the whole neurantchi. Mekabel gam as a chaga v'chakachbad shal ima ba'oven makif v'hu nikra lamed mem d'tzalim. Let's read this last part again. B'kol hamshacho hu mekabel gam as a chagad v'chakachbad shal ima. So it's not that it just receives the tzadi d'tzalim, but it also receives the lamed and the mem, which are makimim shal ima ba'oven makif v'hu hanikra lamed umem d'tzalim. That's the whole tzalim coming into Zer Anpen, how he was created. Now let's just do one more because there's still some arichos here. It's another page, and I want to do it. So he said, where are we there? Where are we? Where are we now? Okay, here we are. Kadnas v'gadlu sheni. V'hine achash akibel as medregas al gadlus v'hishlim the kabel as called parts of a neshama. Ola zer anpin the kabel katnas v'gadlu sheni, because he moves up from the level of Yisrael Sabat Devuna and moves up to the level which is originally the level of Abba ve'ima Elohim. V'ha mochan shemakabel zer anpin the parts of Abba ve'ima Elohim. V'heim nekroim parts of Chaya HaKlali. Umekabel as parts of Chaya Klali Shalom. Ukakolchem as boyer, and everything we're explaining over here, the Indian Katnas V'gadlus Rishon, Shehim Iver Yanika Humochin, which is that's what that is. Akach Mamash Hu Bekatas V'gadlus Sheni. Shepetachida Bekabel is the Nefesh and Ruach the Chaya. For originally we're bringing in Chaya now because you're in a higher level. The Chaya B'shnecha Partzuf and Machitzonim shall parts of a Chaya. V'hem nekroim katnas sheni, v'nekroim katnas lefi, shehem partzufi chitzonim, they're only from nefesh and chaya, ha-nekroim katnas. V'achar kach mekabel shloshach ha-partzuf ha-benimim, which is gadlu sheni, which is that part right there. So, let's see where we're at time-wise. One more. Do one more, and then maybe we'll be able to get through the rest of it in another shiur if I get a chance. Seder HaMochen de Pesach. Now, what about Pesach? V'nei kam bePesach, k'misher b'daba b'mochen de Katnas, kavanasa de shnei partzufi Katnas shehem Iver v'Yanika, which are also known as Nefesh and Nefesh and Ruach. U'gashem b'daba ha'megadlos, ha'gavanda de shlosha partzufi megadlos shehem neshama chayin yechida. Ela de Katnas Rishon, who partzufi hachitzonim, because in the first parts of it's considered the partzufi of the chitzonius. Shechel parts of the shamash and mekabel miso sabat devuna. Bekato v'sheni heim partzufi hachitzonim shel parts of chayim yeshem mekabel ma'abba ve'im ve'eloim. V'chein gadlos arishon heim partzufi ha'penimim, but now you're getting the benimistic part, shel parts of a neshama. Begadlos sheni heim partzufi ha'penimim shel parts of a chaya. Mochen the Kadlas, they kroim acharayim. So there's another word for Mochen the Kadlas. They're also called acharayim. V'nikros kitzonius, and they're also called by that name. But Mochen the Gadlas, they kroim penimius upon him. So the Mochen the Gadlas are called penimius, or they're called upon him. Hine becall prat of prat. Yesh shlosha kavim hacham bagadati, which we'll have to discuss at length. In other words, there are 3 lines. One is chesed, chochma, chesed, and netzach. The left line is called bina, gevura, and hod, and the middle line is called das, dati, which is das, tiferes, and yesod. B'prat yesh shlosha kavim hacham bagadati, the keshe nifratam. There's really 5 of them. Bekan Kora Osach Bekitzer Shnaim Shemachalkim the Kadlas V'Gadlas. So we're just using two ideas, Kadlas and Godless. And we'll look at it more next time.